Hello, souls. If you'd like to come on in, have a seat for some symbolic support. My name is Steph. If you're new, welcome. If you're returning, welcome home. We're going to utilize the scrolls today to see what shapes and symbols stand out and speak to our psyche and psychic senses.
What brought you
We'll
here?
add on tarot and oracle, and as you just heard, where Mr. Ghost Gift is here kicking, we have GhostTube, the app, for any audio editions from the afterlife that may further add to our auric adventures. Overall, please do receive release freely. All the links are below. So when you're ready, let's go. Your magic, I think they're called magic is something cards that came through to kind of set the set the tone and stage is Labyrinth, raising your energetic vibration and enlightenment, and Tree of Life. Number 2, true wisdom and making good choices in life. So what's standing up for me, old souls,
Jack.
is that imagine there's like a forest of trees of life, right? Different life that we have given to things. I'll speak on an individual space, obviously knowing the interconnected nature as well. But individually, it's like imagine a forest of all the things that you have given life to. Every tree representing a friendship, a kinship, a job,
Can you feel me?
a home. Yes, we can feel you. A plant, a pet, your creative endeavors, your corporate endeavors, etc. The yada is. And at some point in time, if you've ever had or seen like an apple tree farm or something along that lines, every so often a tree, it's done. Its cycle is complete, right? Something. Or you have decided to water other things and let other things outgrow, etc. Anyway, so I cut down a tree or a branch of, and I check the rings. This is like seeing the rings of it. And it's almost like a reflection time of that. And then in the most beautiful way, that tree, whatever that life that was given to it, you can decide if you're going to, plant another tree in honor of it and nurture it, spend time and energy towards that amongst your other trees. That's not to be overwhelming. Or you can look at it and say, okay, I can make cutting boards, I can make coasters, or I can do carvings, and allow the trees passing to be of service. So it's the sacrifices of service, and it's not so harsh. At least that's the way I'm feeling it. And this is maybe where true wisdom for you in making good choices, like making the choice. What can I do with this offering? Maybe you'll burn some things for heat, all that kind of good stuff. Anywho, fellow old souls, I'm going to grab some scrolls. You're welcome to join me, or you can fast forward through. Taking a nice deep breath, closing the eyes, cleansing the palette of perception, releasing the race and the rush, activating the abstract mind and ancient awareness to perceive and receive symbolic support. In the name and honor of fellow empaths, seekers, and psychonauts, fellow old souls alike, may you meet a message with meaning. All right. I'm just okay. All right. Can we just I've got too much on the go here. You know the drill as well. If you see, sense, or feel anything, please feel well to comment below or keep to oneself. Drop an emoji. I do appreciate any interactions with the channel. Sorry about the lighting as well, as I had to scooch over a little bit so the lighting can be a little just the light. The light. I'm going to dig in here. I am feather dusting my heart. I am feather dusting the feelings I have. I am also, how like some plants, you can dust them or wipe them down, the leaves. That's what I'm doing. I'm also painting. Painting the roses red, painting the roses red. Yes, okay, so I am painting. It's almost like with this tree and something was cut down and I carved out what maybe, like a sword rack or a gun rack, or you've created some sort of weave or mosaic, a frame for something. I'm seeing a cat in there. I'm seeing a cat in there. It looks like a Cheshire cat vampire almost. I think you've been through some things. It has that feeling of like almost like empathic energy, or if you wander into that label, not defining as an entirety, but just the simplicity's sake, so we can communicate. Empath is, or you're working with empathic energy, it can be a curse or a blessing, right? And to transmute that through the heart space, to kind of feather dust those frequencies that come in. Also for empaths that work maybe in that space primarily, but even if it's like the wood element likes to be dusted a lot, so that maybe just as a reminder, even like through the heart, if you're carving out new heart space for someone, something, personal, platonic, this, that, or the other,
Pilot.
that you take a moment to dust. I don't know how you would dust that, but I feel like you could be, kind of go through the classics and maybe grounding, going for a walk, this, that, or the other. Enjoying a windy day, turning on a fan and sitting there and feeling the wind, connecting with the wind. Kind of like, how could we take the interpretation of dusting? Okay, so there's another more physical way, is dry brushing. And maybe some of you are wandering into that realm of dry brushing the body, skin, and that's a way of dusting out like old skin cells.
Lower.
Replenishing, what is that? Like, I don't know, scrubs, something along that lines. Okay, let's keep going. I'll start adding on some cards too. Sorry, I'm seeing something in here and I'm just, what's it? Look at that lighting.
What do you want?
So tell me what you want, what you really, really want. There is feathered earrings here. It's of the land, feathered earrings of the land, like the leaves of the tree of life can also become, no, I did make that better, can also become earrings. Somebody might be working with, dyeing fabrics with plants and flowers, or creating herbal medicines, learning different things. It's not about curing, I'm hearing. It's not about finding cures in this space. It's about, because there's something about chemistry. I'm so far outside of my realm. But I have heart. I have heart about something, and I'm trusting something. Fly. Be free to know you are loved. It's like the other side of my heart, like the back. Something in the past of my heart. So in this little scroll here, there's a little story in this scroll that's stepping forward. So say as this, maybe it's your adult or something that you're working on, kind of in the air of the whole tree thing. Maybe you're refinishing or repainting something or whatever the case is. And it's like my inner child is off, like distracted by this butterfly. It is. It's very, very innocent here. But there is full trust. There's full trust. Like the backstory to while you're doing this adult, or if maybe you have children, or when you were a child and you just could like get distracted by a butterfly. And as I say that, what drew me to that was this card being called fly, and all the butterflies in here. Be free to know that you are loved, and possibly even freeing oneself from certain words from those who, this does feel like in the past because this is in the back, so that's why I'm going to wander there.
Don't go there.
Yeah, I know it's not what we want to do, but I'm going to dip a toe in, because the tree of life here says true wisdom and making good choices in life. True wisdom. And it's almost like maybe there was something in the past where, as children, we would think that all the adults are wise, and then you come, or you want to meet your hero or whatever the case is, and you find out that they too are human. I don't know if any of that makes sense, but there it is.
Are you scared?
No, not at all. All right, also, let's keep going. And if I didn't say so already, thank you so much for being here. There'll be an extended first YouTube link in the bottom. Sonnet, express your creative heart. Right in this heart with I trust, and I love that. Everything's in the back body. Some old souls, I feel as though Like, do you see how this one's like open, but it's releasing? It's actually, you know what it makes me feel like? I feel like release healing. Like, not hold on to healing. Release the free the healing. To fly free. Because then when I come into sonnet like a song, and some of you might be songwriters or poets or I don't know, something fancy along that lines, where that can even transmute sorrow into powerful resonation, so that it creates really kind of an empowering, so you can float and fly around in that sorrow, but it helps move it through, right? Like the butterflies. Door. You can move it through. Yes, there's something at the door there. Anyway, sorry. So the point being is, as I was looking at these two, is that this one was like an open wound, and this one, through the song, through your heart and your creative expressions. No, it's consciousness. It's consciousness. It helps, again, it's like not being stuck in healing. This also might be something that you're recognizing in the collective. Unseen, trust your growing potential. There's all this trust. All this trust. No, I want to go this way. Thank you. Number 11. Okay, so I remember how at the beginning when we were talking about the tree of life and the labyrinth and cutting something down so you could look at something, whatever it is that you do decide to grow, if you're taking a seedling or what is that called? I can't remember. It's like when you take, like, I want to almost call it like a skin graft. And maybe for some, you've gone through a skin graft situation. Painting the body, like reestablishing, or body painting. Maybe it's also body image. But for somebody specifically, it might have something to do with skin graft repair. No matter what they are, no matter what no, I don't want to say no matter what they are, all of them together. It's like when you decide,
beer.
It's not like a splice. Like you take the splice, but it's not the point. And then you put that in the ground, or you take a seedling or something, and you don't see that. That's the unseen. Heart, I trust, creative heart expressed, and trust your growing potential to grow this. Yes, you are a warrior, because I'm seeing a warrior mask here, and I'm seeing like all the swords, all the wands that have actually been part of building a strong structure, but it kind of feels like for protection. Thank you. Sorry. How you doing? It's like a greenhouse. They've all been woven together like basket weaving. Again, taking branches from anything that has, you've decided to cut down, forego, or that has moved on. And in dusting of this heart chakra space, and also green earth land, the landscape, because there's land here. This is where I'm seeing that, like the land of the heart. There's also a gift somewhere. It's not always seen. Okay. Let's add on a few cards and then I'll get ready to go to the extended. If you're going to join me, I'm so grateful for you. You guys truly warm my haunted heart. Okay. All right. Let's do it to it. Some of you might have been wrapped up in roots and recently got yourself untangled, because there's like an entanglement air. And maybe even for the root of words I'm hearing. Like change. I don't know if changing is the right way to say that. Because the way I'm hearing it is, it's like casual cultures almost, where you might be in one country or continent and they use a term a certain way, but then you go somewhere else and it's the same word, but it's used differently. And then also noticing that on an individual level, like what resonates with somebody's heart and your heart. What kind of words am I saying to myself? I'm feather dusting those. Feather dusting. Emotions. Card number 10. Analia of the Sea.
Necklace.
Ooh, this is potent. Potent. And in the spirit of the story, in some sort of tree of life or forest, and there might be some sort of erosion, a flood of emotions,
What brought you here?
right? Any great flood, but even a great flood can be of one tear. And then like seeing Alice in Wonderland, right, when she gets really, really big and one tear creates this whole sea for the other land. But you've gotten above that if there is any sort of emotional erosion. But again, I got to acknowledge with the old soul vibe that sometimes this has felt like in the collective. So if it's not resonating for you personally, it may not be your message, and that's cool, your scry story. But it might be something you're observing in the collective. And then Psychopomp Soul Guide transition. So somebody also might have, I'm just going to jump over there because that's what's coming through. Somebody, you might have had to bury somebody, or the memory of burying somebody, even a part of yourself, burying the seed of yourself, the soul, the higher self feeling buried, coming to earth, the pressures, you know. But you also might have lost somebody. They are a light bearer, so I understand that it does not necessarily make it any easier in moving through, but please move through any sort of grief with song and allow those emotions to move like music. Protection 58. Holy Diamond, lower realm protection. Yeah, because if you're feeling like you're in a lower state of the heart, there's the clearing and dusting out. There's new knowledge to be attained here. There's new knowledge. There is a key, but
Stop.
It is hidden in plain sight. Something about moisture and hydrating, where there may have been once barren land within the self or within a concept or even like a time, right? And going back in your own history, whatever these forests may represent, if I may. And it's almost like there's just so much different elemental alchemies going on. And then I get to like this dry, like kind of deserty landscape. But then it's like the positive effect of the emotions and like an IV drip versus this, you know, because I get this, that can happen, right? We go through certain things where it's just like this flood of emotions. And applying that to a landscape where it won't, the drought hasn't been there, where the drought feels like it wants, at least how I'm feeling, more of like an IV, a steady expression of emotion. It doesn't have to be a tear.
There's
Maybe
two.
it's sweat. You know what I mean? Whatever water element, it might be air, talking, singing. Whatever the case may be, it wants a steady drip. Maybe this is something that you do. It could even be like a meditation or a mindful mantra that you do when you wake up or before you're going to bed. And that is like your IV drip of medicine to ensure something that you're nurturing that takes less physical time or awake time, but it's kind of like the drip that takes you into maybe the REM state, astral state, etc. And that takes you there. Again, there's also this IV thing, and I don't like needles, so that's awkward that I would even talk about it. But somebody still might be in a healing state. Somebody you know could be in the hospital recovering maybe from a heart attack or what's it, angina, maybe? Angina, something along that line. Okay, we'll add on one more and then we will head over to the extended. Yeah, a Averter of Evil. Okay.
I'm right here.
Yep, we are so right here. So if somebody did pass and you're wondering, they are so right with you. Absolutely. So the card number 13, which for me, I see a little fly, is my integration number. There's no longer a deflecting. Yeah, there's no longer a deflecting of anything that feels a certain way. It's like an old soul becoming older. I don't mean to say that in the ageism of like how we would see it. But I have a feeling old souls are noticing when energies and emotions are being eroded, when there's droughts upon the earth. This is also earthly emotions. It's like you can, messages, Hermes. It's like you can read the land, the energies of the people, existing in those towns, whatever the case is. I'm not saying this from a judgment space. I'm saying this from this empathic space. That you might be able to look at things and know where their things are being deflected and protected. Be like, no thanks, that's yours, not mine, not mine. I believe in you. You can take care of it. I believe in you. You're strong enough. And then there's also where the land is communicating to you, like the earth land, like the earth. Maybe it's of your town. Maybe you're doing, I don't know, maybe you're a big old history buff or you're, what is it, like a geologist or biologist. Pick something. And you're like, there's a drought that's been here, and if they have a flood, the earth can't soak it up fast enough. So this is not good. Like there will be an erosion of land masses breaking away. Now, whether this is individual or from a planetary standpoint or something that you've been through before, previous lifetimes to this lifetimes, it's like you're receiving messages from the land. Because with this deflection, averter of evil, I feel like if anyone is trying to send you bull, even like an over emotions, right? And I'm not talking about if you're holding space for a friend or this, that. Those are all like permissions granted. This feels like it's coming from everywhere, every direction. Like there's just this freedom to fling it about, and it's like, oh, what is that? Is it like Wonder Woman when she, like their bracelets or cuffs or something? Pick any sort of Power Ranger, I don't know. Also something about a rattlesnake. I don't know if this is about land, a cleansing of a land that's happening.
Protect.
Yeah. Which is funny. I just said that, the rattlesnake, and it is the protection of that key. Also protecting the key to your heart, right? Your heart space, holistic heart space, your human heart space, your high heart space. The levels of that. It's worth dusting. It's worth, taking a boot, getting in there and dusting, hydrates, like watering the plants. It doesn't have to take long. It doesn't need to be a big, huzzah. But, and sometimes you might immerse yourself, but other times that's what it feels like. Maintaining the self, looking around at your own forest of the frequencies that you're nurturing. And I think that you're doing a great job. The old souls are getting older and wiser. Yeah, true wisdom and making good choices. You're making good choices. And you are raising your own
I am in pain.
energetic vibration and enlightenment, and that in turn is like sending it out, but it also might trigger others, so then you have to kind of like deflect. And if you are in pain, love, if the rest of anyone else, right, that we were talking about before, if there's all this pain and want to get rid of it, it's understandable. It's understandable. We can only be here with you. We can't do it for you, but we believe in you. But we could also be protecting some things. Protecting pains. All right, I'm going to carry on to the extended. I hope this did serve, inspire, educate, or entertain. Until next time, old souls, you guys are so great, and your presence truly warms my haunted heart. I'm so grateful for you. Until next time.